All right. Hangout says it's live. Let's see what YouTube says.
It's got a little live thing up in my corner.
Yep. And it shows live over there. Um, welcome everybody. This is Syndi-Comics Weekly. Right now you've got myself and Kyle. BJ be joining us shortly. And who knows? You know how Cincy is. He might just pop in at the last 10 minutes. Um, so yeah, definitely welcome in, guys. Jarek and Nico, thank you for coming in, brother. Um, this afternoon stream is going to be a little different. There's been a lot of change up in the comic world this week, um, and one of them that really close to my heart, of course, was Magneto. Um, so as everybody knows, X Men Blue and X Men Gold is going to end because of extermination. Well, after that, though, all the bad guys are turning into bad guys again. In the new series called X Men Black. So they're having these one shots. It's called Magneto, Mojo, Mystique, and Juggernaut, and they're all going to turn back into bad guys again. Um, I'm really excited to see how that turns out. But I did want to pick Kyle's brain. Um, did you get a copy of Die 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 that came out last week?
I did not.
Ah, dang. Yeah, I couldn't get it either. They were sold out of it. Like it went within like the first 10 minutes. The shop opening up. But
Yeah,
I really want to read that one. I've been
I,
hearing it's been really good.
I've heard some fantastic things. A buddy of mine picked it up, and he said it's right up my alley. So I already actually have the trade pre-ordered on Amazon.
And only the first issue just came out too.
Yep. But I don't know. Image is crazy lately. I've been looking at what was it? Gideon Falls, which is Jeff Lemire's new horror title. It's on like what, issue 3, and they
Yeah.
already have. And I think the first trade doesn't even come out till November of this year. But they already have volume 2 up for pre-order, which comes out like April of 2019. Already on Amazon. It's like all these books are Image is already pumping out the trades for.
It's kind of nuts right now because I mean like I was looking on Image's website because I do like a monthly by month. Hey, here's all the stuff coming out, so I know which ones to pick up every week.
Right.
Um, and they were going all the way through December for a lot of their stuff. The funny part is, and when BJ gets on, I'm gonna have to ask him a question. They've got Young Blood issue 14 coming out before issue 13. So I don't know if it's like a mix up on Images side or if it's just a true thing that they might have did it out of sequence because Blood Strike is actually the same way. They did like issue 0, then they did 23. Now they're doing like I think 34 next week. It's
Hmm.
really interesting how they're doing it. It's a great series, to read, of course, but it's weird how Image does some of their books. Now, when you go to the normal stuff, like I've been reading Oblivion Song, Cyber Force, all of them are your standard, 0 or 1 through whatever. Um, but I did see a thing from Donny Cates, and I wanted to bring this up. He is talking about an exclusive contract with Marvel, so that's going to make life real interesting soon because he's got so many books he's doing outside, like Redneck, and he's doing stuff with Image. There's been talks that he was supposed to have IDW out with some books too, but now that he might sign this exclusive contract with Marvel, I don't know how Image World's going to take it.
Well, see, I wonder how that works because technically, if it's creator owned, he's not really working for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how Image falls because from what I understand, basically those Marvel exclusives are Marvel and DC. And I would assume that probably falls under maybe IDW, maybe some of the more like superhero titles, but I don't know because yeah, Image is just they publish self creators. They don't own any property. It's all owned by the creator. So I wonder how that works. I wonder if maybe there's some sort of loophole where he can. I don't know. I really almost think there'd have to be.
Well, and it's like, and you think about like Jeff Lemire, he's been doing the same thing. I mean, he's been doing it for years. He's been doing books across all the big three plus other independents as well.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's like, come on, these are what the characters they own. Now the funny part was, if you guys remember, Donny Cates did a Red Cosmic Redneck variant cover. So there might be some hot water because of that now, though, because they're saying that the Cosmic Ghost Rider is an exclusive to Marvel. So who knows? Maybe that book will go up in value, because of what it is.
Right.
But we'll have to see. Um, but well, only thing I want to know is like, how we used to have like timeline storylines. Like people would make a book or a Bible, for what the roadmap was for a lot of these. Um, and Infinity Countdown is a good scenario with that. First, we had Thanos Wins by Donny Cates. Then we had the Guardians of the Galaxy piece before they stopped their series. Then you had Infinity Countdown. Now we're gonna have Infinity Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But throw in there though that there's going to be a Thanos special done by Donny Cates, which is like, now this is why Thanos is within Infinity Wars, and then Donny's doing Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is just a miniseries. So it's like I wish we had roadmaps like that. It used to be, or you get a checklist. Hey, you need to read all these books and all these tie-ins. And CBR is good for, there's some other ones out there. Howell of Comics, that's out there too for chronologies and radiologies. But the big thing is, like, I remember when you go to an LCS, they used to give you a checklist or a little card that shows you, like, hey, what to read, what to do. I wish they'd go back to that again.
Does Marvel not do like the checklists in the back of the books anymore?
They do, for certain things. Like, I remember I think it was Infinity Countdown. I just had, and it showed the last, like, the issues, but it wasn't like in chronological order. It was
Okay.
like, hey, here's 1 through 4. Here's whatever to read and stuff like that.
Okay.
But that was pretty much it. Um, but that was the big thing I wish they'd go back to. Um, and it's, dude, want to say, we got a lot of people in the comments right now already.
Fantastic.
So welcome everybody. We've got Nightwalker, we got Ryan A, we got Rincon Marvell, Adam Fry. Welcome in, brother. Rabbit Hammer, of course. So, but yeah, I wish we would go back to that kind of style again. Image, you don't ever have to worry about that. You really don't. They're pretty much self precluded issues within a series. The only time they'll ever do that is, and I'm kind of waiting for them to do it, is like we have Cyberforce, we have Youngblood, we have Bloodstrike. I'm waiting for like a one shot special where they're all combined together again into it, or a little mini series like that. But I think Image learned from DC and from Marvel, crossovers don't always work. You
No.
know,
Trying to think, the last crossover I remember, I think it was right around somewhere in the 260 range. Spawn, and they did a 2 issue well, there's 2 issues of Savage Dragon, 2 issues of Spawn. That was the last crossover I remember them doing.
yeah, because I remember when they did the whole what was it, Deathmate back in the '90s.
Yeah.
Between Image and Valiant. That was a cross company crossover, but it was still self precluded to just those Deathmate books, which was freaking awesome. You got the whole Deathmate graphic novel, you got the whole
Yep.
series, and that was it. You didn't have to have 30 or 40 issues from Marvel or DC to keep up.
Yep. I still have all those issues.
And it's still a great read. I still love reading those old Valiant books, like those old Magnus Robot Fighters, the
Yeah.
Bloodshots,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Solar was always a favorite of mine for Valiant.
But the cool part was like we had so many characters that of course were just ripped off from Marvel, by Image, blatant,
Yeah.
pull-offs, it's like, you have Cyberforce, okay, that's X-Force. You have Youngblood, okay, that's X-Men, you have a lot of these other ones too, and it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. You got to create your own new characters, but they still look exactly the same. You got the one dude who looks like a combination of Lobo and Wolverine together with the
Yeah.
orange hair. And it's like, okay, guys, you're stretching now. You know, he's a cool character and he's nuts as hell. So, but it's like you can see it. You know, it's like it's a great combination, but it's like it's almost like an amalgam. You know, of all these characters thrown into Image. You know, which is why I'm kind of glad now Image has got away from that kind of stuff. They've
Yeah.
really established their characters. Really, you know, they started in the '90s, but the 2000s where they really established their characters a lot. You know, the Spawns, the Savage Dragons, those long-term stay books, they've been around for a long time.
I almost think that, at least for me, it was like when Image started getting away from the superhero stuff, I think is when really when they started to shine. You know, like when you look at, I mean, I know they had Invincible, but you start taking a look at like yeah, basically Invincible in the early 2000s. You have Walking Dead come out in the early 2000s. I mean, you just have all these, and now you like Southern Bastards. You have Nailbiter. I mean, you just have all this insane stuff. Uh, and I think that's where it shines now, is because I mean you have so many superhero, basically that's all DC and Marvel really do, the superhero books. And I mean, and while I enjoy superhero stuff, there's only so many stories you can tell. But you can't have a Batman book where they're telling a story about a high school football coach that's untouchable and can murder people in the middle of a street and not even be
Yeah,
questioned
sure.
by cops. Uh, and you can do that in Southern Bastards, and I think that's where Image. I think honestly, I go back like because I'm rereading all Spawn now, and I'm going back and I'm not gonna lie, like I love Spawn, but I'm through issue 25 and those comics suck.
Yeah,
Like it's a like they like the art's amazing, the character design is amazing. It was cool. Like I mean, there are definite moments like where Spawn kills Billy Kincaid, the child molester. Like there are specific issues that are phenomenal, but then like for every one issue that is unreal like that one, you have these issues that make no sense. The exposition, like Todd McFarlane, man, like back in the '90s, he for as good of an artist as he is, man, he could not just let the art tell a story.
no, and
So much
that's
exposition.
always been a problem with McFarlane, though.
Uh,
McFarlane's been doing that since he had Spider-Man. You know, it's like I loved it. You know, when he took over, he made Venom. He did that kind of stuff. You know, he did the work with the early, you know, in the '80s and the early '90s with Spider-Man. But after that, it was way downhill, which was kind of good that Bagley and everybody else jumped in to help out
yep.
for that reason. But yeah, it was definitely, oh God, no, no more.
But yeah, those that image in the early '90s, I mean, I look at it fondly just because of the era and what images turned into. But man, it's like when they just were wanting to do superhero stuff, it was a blatant rip off of Marvel and DC, and yeah, it was rough. But they've definitely found their way now.
Yeah, well, and you look at things like Dead to Class now, who just got a show, and they had the trailer this week, you know, and that was a phenomenal trailer. I mean, it's like it was ripped right from the book.
Could not agree more. I But yeah, as soon as I saw that, I liked the little teaser thing they did a couple months ago. I thought that looked really good.
Mhm.
But yeah, that trailer, and as soon as Killing Joke's '80s, like the little main riff started up, I was like, oh, they have the tone right.
Yep.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings when they said they were doing Deadly Class until I heard how much Remender was actually involved with the casting, with the screenwriting, and any of the Russo brothers. I mean, let's be honest, their track record's pretty freaking good
Yeah.
with their
Look at
with
Marvel.
their well, not even just Marvel, but I mean, you look at Arrested Development, you look at I
Hmm.
mean, all these shows that they have done, and all of them are like, I mean, some of them are pretty quirky, and I think that's probably Deadly Class isn't going to be for everybody. I think there's going to be some people that are probably going to be turned off on the graphic violence. I think maybe if they put the kids in the same situations that they put them in the book, I think it maybe a little bit politically incorrect, which isn't a bad thing, but that's part of the themes of the book. So I'm curious to see how it goes over. But yeah, I mean, just from that trailer, it looks like it's almost a panel for panel reshoot of that first issue, and I cannot wait to see the pilot episode.
Hey, DJ mate.
What's up, guys?
Going on.
Did you get done playing softball finally?
Yeah. A little practice, one more week, and then regular season starts.
Sweet.
Yeah. What'd I miss?
Nah, nothing really.
Nah, we just
Cool.
we were talking about Debbie Class and Image a little bit. The trailer came out this week for that. We talked a little bit about X-Men Black, the replacement, for X-Men Blue and X-Men Gold. But that also brings up the other big announcement this week. Uncanny X-Men's coming back to Marvel. So with X-Men Blue going away and X-Men Gold, Uncanny X-Men is going to be the only one that replaces it. X-Men Black is just going to be one-shots. So we're only going to have really that one, and then we're going to have Astonishing X-Men, Weapon X, and then of course, with all the Wolverine stuff coming out soon, it's going to be chaotic with those. But the cool part was they said Old Man Logan is ending after issue 50, and he's going back to his own universe. So that's the end of Old Man Logan. But they say he's probably going to actually die in issue 50. So on his way back, he's going to die. So I'd highly advise probably pick up that issue. If you don't, I don't read Old Man Logan, but if it's the death of him or the first appearances, I usually pick those up. So I'll pick that up. There'll probably be some kind of variant with it, Don't be wrong, he's been a great character in Weapon X. I loved how he's been portrayed in areas like the old grumpy, Wolverine versus, let me see what I can do. Let me walk around. Let me fight Maestro for the 1,000th time or fight Bullseye again. And it's like, okay, come on. But it's definitely going to be a different situation come October, November, once everything settles from Extermination. The other thing, too, is, we were talking about Donny Cates with Thanos, helping out with that book and Cosmic Ghost Rider. The other thing, what was it I was reading about? Wanted to ask you a question, BJ. So Image has Youngblood 14 coming out before Youngblood 13 as far as release dates. Is that just a goof up, or is that actually happening?
I have no idea what's going on with Youngblood right now. Not a clue.
I know they've been delayed a little bit too, because some of them were supposed to come out earlier, and now they're getting pushed back a little bit on some of them. Because I just got through volume 2, so I need to go find issue 12, which came out, and then that way I'm caught up before issue 13 comes in. But then I saw that issue 14 was supposed to come out before 13. I'm like, what the hell's going on, Image?
Oh man, I haven't read anything about anything going on yet about Youngblood, and I talked to Chad, but he said anything about Youngblood yet. Just a couple other things that are coming out or in the process.
I saw Jim's supposed to be doing something soon too, as well.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. He's going to be on Deadpool, Spider-Man there.
Yeah.
So that's good for him. Get out and spread his wings.
Do you think that's going to be like his start to fame, sort of like how Chad had with X-Men 92 and them?
I hope so. He's a young guy and everything, so he's got great artwork, and it's just hopefully it'll work out for him, and we'll see some other comics with his art in it too. Maybe some variants too.
Yeah, I love his art. I mean, he does amazing on his stuff, so I definitely want to see him do more. And then let's see. We had a couple new people come in. So we had Nightwalker, Adam Ison. So welcome in, guys. But yeah, there's there was a lot this week. And then, of course, we all got, we saw all the things about Titans coming to DC Universe. That was coming out. So that's a big thing. Birds of Prey is coming out. So it's like, okay, there's like more DC, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I'm kind of getting DC'd out as far as the DC Universe because there's so many shows now to keep up with. So it's like I watched The Flash and DC Legends. I was watching Black Lightning. And now I'm gonna have to go watch Titans and them. Oh, and by the way, it's an exclusive on the Universe channel. I guess is the way they're doing. It's not part of the CW, so I won't be able to watch unless I go actually purchase a subscription. So it's like another Netflix all over again. I don't know. I don't like how they did that, especially to a lot of people that's been watching the mainstay series for years.
So, since we're talking about it, what did you guys think of the tone and graphic nature of the Titan trailer?
Oh, I love the tone. I do. I mean, it was like, holy crap! This is not your new Teen Titans. This is Titans, from like 10 years ago. Remember when DC came out with Titans when it first came out, and it was like literally Nightwing versus Red Arrow, and they were like shooting and like trying to kill each other. So it's like, okay, I can see where they got the, part of the series from. It's like that saga. Like, because like even today's current Titan saga, I've looked through it. It's campy, at best. It's not it's not what you think of when you think, okay, these are the older kids that were underneath Batman, Superman, Green Arrow, and all of them. These are the guys that go beat up people, do stuff, and take care of things, Sort of like the X-Force, of DC. They were supposed to go out and do all that.
It was funny, the backlash, because I think a lot of people just automatically think Teen Titans Go.
Yeah.
And, and that clearly Robin, breaking someone's neck and his little one-liner about Batman, I think, rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
It's okay, man.
Well, it's got that like Gotham. Gotham's got that same feel. The Titans really is sort of in that same situation. Like, now, don't get me wrong, Gotham is toned down because it's on Fox. Don't get me wrong, but it's got that darker, grittier feel to it. Not the happy-go-lucky Flash, or Supergirl, or even Arrow. Arrow started out being that way, but then it kind of went happy and campy a little while ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see how it ends up turning out.
I don't know if they would actually do their series like they do their animated movies, they would make so much people happier. Because I watched what was it, Batman Ninja? I watched that. I loved that one. Killing Joke pissed me off because they changed so much. But it was a good. The animation was awesome. They did great with that.
But if you got past it, basically, if you skip the first half hour, it wasn't bad.
Oh yeah, and that's what I was really irritated about. I'm like, that never happened. But we also have to remember too that shows aren't made because of comics, in DC's world. Same way with Marvel, they're making their own story as they go with it. They'll take parts and pieces from it, but that's about it.
Right. And I get what they were kind of trying to do. Maybe. I don't know, make it more of an emotional tale between Barbara and Bruce, but I don't know.
Well, and what really got me was like that scenario is about what was happening with Robin and Batgirl, not Batman and Batgirl.
Right.
They were alluding to that in the comics. They didn't show it as in depth, of course, as the movie did, but they were all alluding to that. And it's been that unwritten rule between Barbara Gordon and Dick for forever, that they were always going to do that. But it's like, oh, come on. Really, guys? Don't blow this up for me, All right. And then, let's see. They also had, what was the other trailer I saw? Damn it. The Slender Man. I saw the Slender Man trailer today. Oh my god, that was amazing. I cannot wait to see that movie.
Isn't that like a 14-year-old girl horror story?
It is. It's been made before a long time ago, but of course they didn't have, what they can do now with movies, but I was just like,
Right?
oh my God, this is gonna I'm so excited. It's like the Wicker Man, the original Wicker Man, it's like holy crap, I was like, I just want to see how it goes. All right. So, um, the only other thing that really stood out to me this week was what was it? The new Venom series coming out. I saw some previews for that. We're talking about Venom, the first host, and Venom, which is their Venom in Vietnam, done by Donny Cates as well. And the reason why I want to bring that up is they had just retconned everything about Venom and the whole Marvel universe. Um, so if you've read Venom number 4 yet, there's a big retcon in that issue. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't read it yet. But literally, Donny Cates just turned the world upside down on Venom, and he's going to explore more in the first host of Venom as well as the Venom mini series that's coming out here. I think next month or in September, it comes out. So it's going to be crazy for all of us Venom fans because it's not going to be what you think either. He's been alluding to that these the first 3 issues of Venom of what's going to happen, and it's going to really blow you away. So like ASM1 did. I finally read ASM1, got through the whole book. I actually had to read it twice. And the reason why is like, is he in a dream this whole time? But then I had to go back. The second time I read it, it was just the first part of the issues, Oh, okay. Makes sense now.
Yep.
So, yeah, I am excited. Peter Parker's a screw up. And he just says, I'm a blatant screw up. I've screwed up everything in my family and everybody out there. So let me see if I can fix this.
The Ryan Otley is already taking a break from that, and they are putting in Roberto Ramos.
Yeah, I saw that. I think it's like issue 4 or issue 3. I'm like, yeah, that didn't last long.
I know. He says he's going. He says he's going back to it. He's just taking a break. So I don't know what's going on there. I mean,
I wonder if the fans kind of got involved and said we don't like the stylized that's been done with Otley versus what was done with Stegman or Ramos.
Well, yeah, but I mean, yeah, I guess, but they did that with Superior Spider-Man with Stegman. I mean, they jump back and forth between the two quite a bit in Superior Spider-Man. It wasn't really until the last probably what I don't know. I'm trying to think. Did they jump back and forth here recently too? I'd have to go back and look.
They didn't. They did an ASM. Remember when ASM was single digits, like the 20s, and then they jumped into like the 700s again with the Legacy? They were kind of going back and forth between Ramos and Stegman. But then pretty much Stegman did the whole last run from like 789 to 801.
Right. So, I mean, I guess that's not really that uncommon now that I really think about it. Like basically doing 4 issues and then switching artists for 4 issues and then working back and forth. So.
Well, I think it's just different from the normal standard. We're so used to having a writer and an artist, and they do the book, and that's it. You have guest artists that would come in occasionally, but it's just, I think it's because now the talent pool is so big at Marvel and DC. They've got so many people that can do, Spider-Man, so many people that can do Venom or Wolverine or X-Men or even Avengers now. I'm actually okay with that. It kind of breathes new life into the book as well. You're not getting used to the same drawing at the same time, so a little change up doesn't hurt.
And I'm sure it helps them keep a little bit more consistent schedule too. Hopefully.
What do you think, BJ? You're quiet tonight.
With Spider-Man, I don't really read it except for just the trades I picked up. I'm good with either or. Drawing them, they do pretty damn good job with all the characters. in Spider-Man's universe. So if they go back and forth, that's cool with me. I am a big fan of Ramos just because from back in the day when he did X-Men and Wolverine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when Ramos was doing that. I mean, just like when Silvestri was doing Wolverine. I still love Silvestri drawing Wolverine. I wish he would come back in a heartbeat. It'll never happen, but I'd love it if he did. Um, and we got a couple new guys. Oh, we had some questions. Ooh,
Yeah.
we got questions from the audience. We haven't had that in a while. All right, so let's see. We got Rabbit Hammer says he's a huge horror fan. So they said, name some of your favorite horror movies. So BJ, we'll start with you.
Favorite is Exorcist all time. It's just straight up crazy. And then there's a Japanese one called Audition. I'm not sure if anybody's seen that one, but that one's pretty messed up too.
What about you, Kyle?
I'm trying to think. I don't really watch horror movies. So I guess. Hang on, I'm trying to think. Yeah, like this is really hard. Cause I just don't watch horror movies. I read a crap ton of horror comics. I love horror comics, but movies.
I got one more.
What's that?
I got one more. Silver Bullet.
Oh yeah, Silver Bullet, Stephen King.
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Yeah, I got a sit down of mine.
I guess I don't know. I guess Alien. I don't know if that's considered a horror movie.
I would like the original Alien, the first one from 1979.
Yeah.
That's like a sci-fi horror kind of movie. It's like.
I mean, I like movies like Seven. Is that? I don't think that's really a horror movie, is it?
No.
See, I like stuff like that.
That's like a psycho.
Like From Hell was a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Not really a horror movie either. Jack the Ripper. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't. I don't watch much horror.
Well, it's funny because if you look at my actual Blu-ray and DVD collection, it's pretty much comic book movies and horror. So, so literally, I mean, my favorite, of course, is going to always be Evil Dead. I love Ash. Ash is my boy. So I always loved Evil Dead. But then also, one of the offbeat movies is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. That movie tripped the hell out of me. Like, I've watched The Exorcist 1,000 times. But seeing what they go through in that movie, just like, holy crap, people. And then, of course, we still have the great, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, not the remake, the original from 1974. It's got to stay with the cult classics, But I tell you, the other one that was always trippy to me was, did you guys see The Others? So it had Nicole Kidman in it. And that movie tripped me out. Like when I was watching it was like like when you watch The Sixth Sense for the first time, you're like, okay, is the boy dead or is he talking to And he found out he's talking to ghosts. And then The Others was the same vein like that, where it's like they thought this family was coming after them, but they don't realize they're already dead. They've been dead for years in his house with all these other people. They're all ghosts. And it's like, holy fuck me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always like that. I always like those like trippy psychological thriller ones as well. Like Seven, that's a good thriller, because it's just one of those veins. But yeah. Let's see. And Danny Killen just showed up. So hey, Danny, welcome in, brother. But yeah, there's, like I said, horror movies I love. I have tons and tons of. I got a lot of old stuff too. I've got this old one. It's I don't even remember the name on. It's on VHS, and it's zombie bikers on or something like that. And it's literally all these they were this biker gang, and they got bit by zombies, and then they turn into zombie bikers, and all you hear is Blue Oyster Cult in the background, it's saying "Don't fear the Reaper," So it's like it was corny, but it was funny to watch.
Yeah. There was a German one that came out about, what, 4 or 5 years ago? Dead Snow,
That one was
the
good.
zombie
Actually,
Nazi.
Oh yeah, yep, I remember that one.
That
What
was
was
good.
that other one that came out? It was like a two-part series from Russia. Death Wish, and there was another one that was with it too. I forgot what the name of it is. Um, but it was crazy. Now what I'm getting tired of though, I am getting tired of zombie stuff. As far as the how many zombie movies and shows and stuff like. Hey, Shaun of the Dead, I'll keep watching every day. It's funny as hell. But like Walking Dead, I mean, I still watch it, of course, because I've been a fan since the comics started. But at the same time, it's just like I don't need another zombie movie. The only one that I really did like was World War Z. I did like how they did that, the adaptation of it. Now, of course, it's not 100% spot on with the book, which irritated a lot of people. Sorry, zombies don't run. Zombies just lurk and they go after you. They come in big things. But what would have been cool to see is like in the book they talk about all the zombies in the ocean, and like how they came up out of the ocean and all these islands and just started going after everybody. I'm like, hopefully they show that in the second movie. I hope they do. But they didn't even get hardly anywhere in the first movie compared to what the book did. It's like holy crap. Okay, they haven't even made it to the Rocky Mountains yet, where they're making a fortress at. So hopefully they keep continuing that on.
Yeah.
All right. uh, yeah. So Nightwalker's favorite one was in the Return of the Living Dead. Yes, we've all seen Return of the Living Dead. We all remember those scenes. Um, let's see. And let me see, there's one more in here. Somebody said True Blood. Okay, we're not going to bring up True Blood in this stream. I'm sorry, that's a no. We don't talk vampires, because they're not real vampires. They're like the damn, what was it, Twilight vampire people.
That's my favorite series ever.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't like it.
Team Edward.
Sparkly vampires.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. Where I come from, vampires, they go kill people. You want to watch Underworld? Okay, I'm good with that. But not these crappy ones. You know. So talking about vampires, of course, we can always talk about comics, Blade, and stuff like that.
Vampire.
Yeah, well, of course, I'm still looking for the first appearance of Blade.
Okay.
But
Was that Tomb of Dracula 12?
37.
Okay. Man, I was way off.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I got to get it. It needs to go in the collection with the rest of it. But I've got the second appearance. I was like, I need the first appearance.
I need to go back and watch those movies.
They're still good movies. I still love the Blade movies. The Trinity series or whatever that series was, that sucked.
Yeah.
Oh, that one that they did on Spike.
Yeah, whatever that. I mean, I tried watching it. I'm like, oh my god, no. Well, the bad part, I mean, when you don't use Wesley Snipes as Blade, there's kind of an issue there.
Yeah, I think someone else could take over that mantle now, though.
Oh yeah, definitely now. I mean, and people forget that Ryan Reynolds was in it. He was Hannibal King.
He was in the third one.
Yep.
And it was funny because like he was still making fun of everybody in that movie while he was doing the movie. So it's like that's why he's perfect for Deadpool. All right. So, that being said, let's see what y'all got this week. BJ, what'd you get this week?
Alrighty. I actually found this on the shelf at my store. Die.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like,
You
oh.
son of a. Oh,
This is hanging out right there. There's one left.
damn you.
Realm number
Not the foil.
realm number 8. Look at that. That kind of looks like the purge right there.
So I was about to say the exact same. It looks like a cross between the Purge and Donnie Darko.
I know.
I didn't think about Donnie Darko. Mystery Metaphor number Trey. Little kitty. X-Men Blue 32. Ooh. Transformers Unicron number 2. And the Doomsday Clock number 6. I like this cover, man. It's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, the marionette one.
Yeah. And the Labyrinth Coronation number 5. That right there is the Owl King. He is the king before the Goblin King. So, fun fact. Saga 54, man. This is a whew, man, dude. So they have decided that they're going to take an extended break before they reunite with Saga 55. Unlike the 3 months,
Oh, I thought it was.
the publication it's going to be at least till the next year.
Okay.
So I think they're going to start closing it out, which sucks.
Well, it's like 7 to Eternity. They take forever to come out with an issue.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
You got freaking Yondu.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. My credit card is happy it's gone now.
So, BJ, this is your first Hot Toys, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not going to be diving deep like everybody else is. I realize my income can't handle it. Maybe one a year, and I've already RSVP'd for the Lando from Return of the Jedi. Because that one looks good.
So,
Here he is.
As a first-time Hot Toys recipient owner, what are your honest opinions of a Hot Toy now that you have one in hand?
They smell good. They're pretty cool. What the hell is this? Oh. Yeah, they're pretty cool. You take that off. That's a magnet, so you can switch that. Oh, sorry. Magnet right there. Look at that. Just like the movie. I think the details are amazing. The prices are fair, actually. And it's not too shabby. I think it's a Barbie doll. But yeah, the extra stuff is really cool how they throw it in there, and amazing detail, absolutely. But like I said, I can't afford these things.
So let's talk about Hot Toys for a second. Now, me and Kyle were kind of talking. I'm looking at getting my first one soon. But it's not going to be anything normal, out there that most people see. It's going to be kind of off a wall if I get it. Big if I get it. But let's talk about that, though. So you look at a community that we have today. There are typically 2 types of collectors. You have the articulated guy who like to play, do everything with them, And then you also have the display person who's like, hey, I just wanted to put it on a shelf and display. Um, so it's one of those kind of things. It's like, what do we do? What do we do? Is there a good happy medium in the middle? There tries to be. I mean, so if we look at the scales, we've got Hot Toys on one level, you got Marvel Legends on another. In the middle, you kind of got Mezco, Mafex, SH Figuarts, who they look awesome to display and stuff, but you can still articulate and do that. But the big problem is, of course, it doesn't have the aesthetic that a Hot Toys does. You look at a Hot Toys aesthetic on the face, you know who that person is when you see it. Got it. Marvel Legends is doing better with their digital face paint. So is Star Wars. DC, they should just sell Mattel to Hasbro and just let it be done because Mattel cannot make nothing to save their life. Hell, they just laid off 2,200 people this week. So Mattel, just sell yourself to Hasbro and let Hasbro do DC so we can have some good DC figures. I just saw those new DC Essentials in my LCS and they looked horrible. They look like a piece of junk in a box. And that's what's sad. It's like we need those kind of toys, and the only ones you really can find for good DC is Mezco or Mafex. That's the only people that really do them well. SH Figuarts does some amazing Justice League ones with their face sculpts and stuff, but none of them have anything on Hot Toys or Sideshow when it comes down to the actual look and display and the feel. So that's kind of the gambit a lot of us are in. Is like, do we want to play with the toy? Do we want to articulate it, or do we just want to display it? But we've been running some issues lately with that, even with Mezcos. Look at the Black Suit Spider-Man. The initial run had all the issues with the stitching, and they were coming apart. On the Mezco Black Suit Spidey. You can have the same problem with the Wolverine as well. The yellow and blue suit. It can have that same issue if you mess around with it too much. So it's kind of a catch-22 is like, what do you really want to do with your figures?
I don't know.
So Cal, you're the Hot Toy guy.
I don't know. I have all mine posed. I mess around with them. I've also accidentally ripped one too, though. But luckily, Sideshow was cool and replaced it.
Do you have any? Do you have them in extended dynamics? Pose?
It depends. Like Spider-Man, not a chance. Like my Batman, basically anything with a spandex suit, that's just a standard museum pose. The homemade suit Spider-Man, because it's basically a sweatsuit, I have him actually, he's probably in my most dynamic pose. Like I have him legs spread, bent. I have him hanging upside down. I don't know. Joker, I have in a pretty dynamic pose. Iron Man, I have in a pretty dynamic pose. I don't know. It just depends on the figure. Most of Star Wars, because they're all pretty loose suits. Those all have in pretty dynamic poses. I don't know. I mean, just for me, it's. I got into them. It's funny if you look at the Syndicate. It's like that's almost all people are getting into now is Hot Toys. But I don't know. Like it was just one of those things. Like I bought my first one. That was the Michael Keaton Batman, and I guess like I've always looked at it as more as a display piece than anything else.
Yeah,
that's how
definitely.
That's how I treat all my figures, really. Like, I mean, I'll take photos and I do my little video reviews on YouTube and like do like little poses like here and there. But even like my Marvel Legends and stuff, I just have in standard vanilla poses, and I collect everything out of box. And I don't know, that was the thing I think that drew me the most to Hot Toys when I first started collecting a couple years ago was the fact that you can take them out of box and they don't lose value. Because I'm an out-of-box collector. I don't, with like I think 3 exceptions I can see in the back and like in my collection behind me. I take everything out. Like I have no use for boxes. I hate keeping them in box. Pops, it doesn't matter if it's an exclusive, if it's whatever it is, I take it out. And that's the thing. I think about Hot Toys. It's just they don't lose value by taking them out. they specifically designed the package so you can take them out, put the accessories in, keep it all together. It just, I don't know. They're expensive. They are. I basically had 3 in the last 4 weeks come in the mail. So you're talking about almost $1,000 in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I spend it. But I guess I look at them more as kind of display pieces more than messing around, taking all sorts of photos and I don't know, and keeping them in box and shoved away somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys know me. I take everything out of the box. I don't care what it is, except unless it's like something very expensive. Like I've got some Marvel Legends that are worth some money. And it's also because they were given to me. It's just like, hey, I don't really want to open these. Kind of thing. I'm the same way, but mine are typically Transformer side. I can buy Marvel Legends, I buy that kind of stuff too, but my Transformers is like, dude, I can take it apart, make it into a car, robot, whatever, and I can put it back in. It's the same way. They don't, especially on the masterpiece level, they're the same, they cost just as much as a hot toy, some of the ones I bought. But they're the same thing. They don't lose value, especially with the fans toys and make toy stuff I have. But it's always interesting, because you're right, you brought it up. A lot of people are buying them. But do you think people are buying them now because they're seeing all of us get them as YouTubers? As you see how many people get them, they're like, ooh, that looks cool. Like, God, maybe I want to get it, and they might not have ever bought one before unless they saw somebody else get it. Or do you think that people are actually getting into them because they really want to get them? What do y'all think?
I've thought about this a lot, especially seeing like kind of what everybody's getting, and this is what I get a lot of questions of if you're getting into hot toys, what's a good first one? And I really don't like that question because I feel like then you're just like you don't really have one in mind.
No.
You just want a hot toy, and that's the thing. Like with hot toys, like Legends, like $20, you can buy a whole wave for what $140, $120. And then you have figures $20. I know to some people that may be a lot of money, but I can throw that around, buy a random character I don't really care about, even if 6 months down the road I'm like, oh, that was kind of a cool character for 5 minutes. It's not that big of a deal. Hot toys, granted, you can usually resell them pretty easily and for a lot more money you paid it for them, but it's still a big investment, and I think it is more of a kind of I don't want to say status thing, but I think there is some kind of look how cool I am because I got this hot toy at this time. And then what I always tell people is buy a character that actually speaks to you. Like me, I have 6 Batmen. That's because Batman is my favorite character. And I will buy every Batman that comes out because that is the character that always spoke to me the most. That is the character that I love all the movies. I love the actors. That is my character. I know that 10 years, I've always been a fan of Batman, so I know 2 years from now, I'm still going to be a fan of Batman, and that's who I want the most in my collection. And everything else, it's more it's more finding characters and scenes that mean a lot to me. Like Guardians, I own Star-Lord, Groot, and Rocket. I bought those because I found an insane deal on them. They necessarily weren't, and Yondu. I would love to have that Yondu. He looks really, really cool, really, really good. But for me, I'm not the biggest Guardians fan. And if I wouldn't have found an amazing deal on those 3, I probably wouldn't have picked them up. But Yondu, for me, even though he looks really cool, I see a lot of people getting him. It just doesn't have that sentimental value to me to actually spend that when I could, buy the new PS4 Spider-Man, so for me, it's always been finding specific scenes, finding specific characters that speak directly to me, and that's what I buy instead of just being like. And that's the thing, you really got to think about which ones you want too, because I mean, there's a lot of them, and it gets expensive quick. And that, I don't know, like I'm kind of just rambling at this point, but that's always been my is find characters that mean something to you, scenes and movies that mean something to you. Like I'm not a big Thor fan, but I love Gladiator, like the Gladiator scene, and I wanted at least one Thor and one Hulk in my collection from the MCU, so I specifically went with those two, just because it's such a unique scene. Everybody knows what that that costume is from, and Ragnarok was such a good movie. So that's kind of how I do my collecting. Is I specifically base it on characters and scenes that mean a lot to me.
So that's awesome, because the other catch 22 is that just like if it's a character you really want to get what you want to get, not just what somebody else gets. I say not just in Hot Toys, but that's any kind of line. If there is something that you like, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It's what you like. Collect what you like. And if it's a Hot Toy, if it's a Marvel Legend, hell, if it's even a DC Multiverse figure, go get it. We just because I don't like it doesn't mean that you don't. But the big thing being is that, hey, just respect one another. What people have, and don't jump on a hype train. You'll go broke that way. Really, people go broke all the time. They're on a hype train. They see what somebody gets. They got all this stuff. I want to be like them. I want to do this. I'm like, be you. Be what you can afford too. The big thing is like, hey, do what you can do. Don't be trying to keep up with the Joneses. Just to get stuff. Just enjoy what you have too. Enjoy what you collect. If you've got 1,000 legends and you don't enjoy any of them, you're just collecting them because everybody else says. Like how much money you just wasted? You could have bought so much cooler stuff that you would have liked. So that's what I'm really kind of trying to convey a message out is enjoy it. So, like BJ, that's your first Hot Toy. What do you think, man?
I think Hot Toys, as long as they stick with like cinematic characters, that's really great stuff. It's like a life lesson learned. I can't afford them all the time. There's no way I can at this moment. Maybe 3 to 4 years from now, yeah. But there's other things I've got to do too. I want to buy my own house in the next couple of years. Yeah, buy what you like. So I love Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan, but I can't afford all of those Star Wars figures. Like that's when I saw the Lando in Return of the Jedi. That's he's actually my favorite character from Star Wars, and that means something to me. So I would like to have a Lando one. Don't do it with credit cards. Let's say that right now. If you have extra cash or you get a side job, use that money towards it. And the payment plan is pretty cool. The payment plan helps out a lot. And if you can't afford it and you want one, I'd try to get one that's coming out in the next year and go ahead and see the payment plans and start saving up or go ahead and start paying them off here and there if they can do that.
Well, and I gotta say, I mean, that's one of the few places I know of where you can do a payment plan for is through Sideshow for most of their stuff. There's a lot of places you can pre-order and not pay up front, but they'll come calling when it's time to come pay, and they want the whole thing. So Entertainment Earth's a good example of that. Big Bad Toy Store, they do it too. You can pre-order, but then when it comes time for release, it's time to pay. I mean, at least with Sideshow, you can pay it out in chunks. Which is awesome. I mean, there's another group, it's called Collector Zone Cantina. They do a payment plan for everything, literally everything. Sideshow, NECA, you name it. If you want to do a payment plan, they'll come hook you up. So I just joined with them a little while ago, and went the payment route on some of the stuff they have, just because it's expensive, it really is. But yeah, Sideshow really does do awesome with that. I mean, you're talking like $30 to $60 at a time. You can pay it off. each one of their plans I've noticed are different though, depending on the figure. You know, it's like I've looked at some where they were like 30, or then some are 40 or 60. It just depends on how much the actual figure costs, of course.
Yeah, and it
Um,
depends when it comes out too. Because like if you do
Hmm.
one, like if you do like War Machine, obviously that doesn't come out till 2020. I think they'll split that one
Yep.
up in 6 payments. But if you get like Gladiator Hawk, that mine ships next Tuesday. So that one's already going to be in the warehouse in the next week or two. So I think that one, the most they'll let you do is 2 payments. So that'd be like
Hmm.
150 or like actually 100, like 70, 180 each. So it just depends on I personally don't do the payment plans. I just pay for them. I did one payment plan, and they like, depending on when it releases and all that stuff, they bump it all around. So I didn't personally didn't like that. So, um, but yeah, there's several options in there. Nice thing about sideshows, they give you 10%. Dude, yeah, I think it's 10% back on everything you
mhm.
purchase. So, like basically, you get every 10 you buy, you get a free hot toy.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, they do the contests all the time. You can get a $25 gift certificate from them every time you do a contest. So it's $25 and you use towards a hot toy.
And
And as yeah, and people forget that on Sideshow's site they do hot toys, they do collectibles, they do statues, they do litho. I mean, they do a gambit of stuff on their site.
they just got DC Collectibles, so they're doing like the black and white statue series. They're doing basically anything that DC Collectibles puts out. They now have that on their site as well.
And that's the cool thing about what they do is I like how they do that. It really, I bet, before Collector Zone showed up, that was the only place you could do a payment plan for a hot toy. There really wasn't any that I know of. I mean, like Big Bad Toy Store, you got to pay for all of it at once if you want to go through them, unless you have credit, with Big Bad to
Right.
go for it. But that, I mean, to me, I mean, it's definitely economical as far as on the wallet. I mean, compared to like what SDCC cost me. Um, but that was kind of the catch 22. Is it's kind of nice to have that. So, with that being said, I'm the only guy in this stream who doesn't have one now. But the one I want is something specific for me because it's a character I want. I want the Hot Toys Optimus Prime. That's the one I'm going after.
Hey, I'm
You
like,
know.
I don't own any.
You might own a
They
couple. You
own
might have just did
you.
a video on one. Nice try, Kyle. Uh, but yeah, like the Optimus Prime, it means a lot to me because I'm a huge Transformers guy. Now, what's going to piss me off is it going to take me 20 years to get a Megatron to go with it. You
Right.
know, and the reason being is because Prime One Studios and Moss Toys got the license to Transformers now. Hot Toys does not have a license to it anymore. So that's what kind of sucks is that I might get one and this be one and done, which is okay for me in my collection. But because I love how it looks, I really do. The aesthetic on it and everything. I held the Prime One Studios one, and it was amazing. But that damn thing was like 30 pounds in my hand, man. It was freaking heavy. It's like the Hulkbuster. I picked up a Hulkbuster hot toy. Oh my god, it's like picking up my young child. You know. And my buddy, he actually had the full Mark. Was it the Mark 42 in it? And versus the little bus thing that they had, that comes with, he had the full Mark, and it was even more heavier because of that, because it's a die-cast Iron Man. Um, so yeah, that's why I kind of wanted to bring it up a little bit because I've seen it. I've seen a lot of people getting on that train just because
Mm-hmm.
other people have. Just a reminder, you guys, don't jump on the train. You ride your own train. Make it your own way. Do what you want to do because you like to do it. With that being said, segue into Kyle. What'd you get this week? As we rambled.
So yeah, so I didn't really pick up anything. I did apparently. I don't remember buying this, but it came from Amazon in the mail. It's from Image, God Complex Dogma. Uh, I have no idea what this is about. I don't. Apparently, I ordered it back in like February, and I don't doing it. Uh, so I have like I don't even like it's I don't even know like the creative team. Like I truly don't know why I bought this. So, yeah. So this came in the mail yesterday. So this is the only thing I picked up, got. So I'm gonna read it and see why I bought it, because I must have bought it for a reason.
You gotta do a review. Do one of your, like, Kyle does reviews on it, you know.
Yeah. I really like it. And the funny thing is, there's nothing on the back other than like it just says like a creative send off to the likes of Blade Runner and The Matrix. Is one of the best things. So it's like all, you know, like the little critic one line sentences. So there's not even like a synopsis, or there's not even like a little overview on the back. So I literally have no idea what this is about. But what you gonna do? We all buy random stuff, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do.
But it's an image comic, so it can't be too bad. Hopefully.
Well, yeah, it's not a superhero book, so if it's not a superhero book, you should be all right.
Right. I mean, nothing else. The art looks awesome. It looks like I don't know, kind of like a very noir. I don't know. It's almost like some of the characters almost look like something out of like Gundam or something. There's a lot of like mech-looking characters.
Uh-oh. Right up your alley there, Nate.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't do Gundam.
The art's really cool. I don't know. That's the only robot thing that like popped into my head.
Robotech.
It looks like Evangelion on the cover.
So I don't know. This kind of looks like Iron Man in a lot of ways. So I don't know. Yeah, this looks kind of futuristic, robotic. I don't know.
Kind of like that.
Yeah, it looks like Gypsy Avenger from Pacific Rim.
That is very much what these characters look like. But yeah, so
I love this thing.
How it. So yeah, that's all I got.
Sweet. I got a shit ton of stuff.
No.
All right. How much does a shit ton really weigh?
I'm guessing a ton.
Alright, so of course ASM2.
Nice.
Infinity Wars Prime, #1. I think this is my cover of the week. Marvel 2-in-1 thing into the Human Torch. You know, of course, they ran the Fantastic Car into a house. That's freaking awesome. Let's see, we got Moon Knight 197. Clayton Crane's still killing it with these Punisher covers. This is 228.
That is awesome.
Jeff Lemire, The Century, #2.
How's that so far?
It's awesome. I love The Century. I loved it when he had his original series back with Jay Lee and those guys, and then when he had that second series with Ramita. I wasn't a big fan of how they tried to take care of him in New Avengers, and the whole Dark Avengers thing. I really wasn't a big fan. Like, hey, let's just go make him an evil guy, But then I did like how Iron Man came back, and helped him devise a way to keep himself sane while still being able to be the Century. But in this series, that doesn't work at all. What Iron Man gave him doesn't work, and now he has to go deal with it. So, I really like the series because he's supposed to be, the Superman of Marvel. We got Venom #4.
Nice.
Of course, Multiple Man #2. Talking about zombies. This is Deadpool Assassin, him fighting zombies. So I always wondered, like, if Deadpool got bit by a zombie, would he actually turn into one because of his healing factor?
Did you ever read what was they did a Night of the Living Deadpool?
Yeah, that's right.
Pretty sure he got bit.
Yeah, they was a head pool, wasn't it? The head that was left over that was a zombie.
Yeah, because I think he got bit, but I don't remember him turning. I think it was because of his healing factor.
Mystery Madripoor number 3. And the variant cover.
Nice.
It looks weird though. I mean, look at that. I mean, we got Kitty Pryde kicking through Wolverine. You know, just something odd about that one. X-Men Blue number 32. X-23 number 2. And the variant to number 2. I just have to go back and get the variant to number 1 still. So wait, Unknown Comics is sending the Perillo cover. Let's see, we got. This is an awesome series. You guys probably remember when I was talking about this one. X-Men Grand Design. This is second Genesis. So this is part 2 of the series they did. This is all done by Ed Pescor. He writes, he inks, he pencils, he does everything in this book. And it's freaking awesome because it's like you're reading an old 70s comic when you read it. Then got the B cover variant. And the C cover variant. And the reason I like it, you see what kind of suits they're in? They're like in the 90s Jim Lee suits, but they're all, you know, the old, all new X-Men. So it's kind of a twist on it, you know, so I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. X, number 1. Had to pick this one up, especially after X-Men Gold. And then, with my credit I had, I got the J. Scott Campbell, 1 in 50. Let's see, we got Redneck, of course. Transformers, Bumblebee, number 2. This is a prequel to the movie. Action Comics, 1001. Bendis' new start on the series. So let's see if what he did with Man of Steel keeps going. You know, I'm always interested. You know, Man of Steel was really good. I want to see, you know, Superman 1 was really good. So let's see if he screws us up or not in Action Comics. Doomsday Clock, of course, number 6. And the variant to number 6. And then Terrifics, number 6. And then they give you a free Infinity War poster. Nice. I guess I had a huge stack of them. They give a bunch of it. This is actually in my giveaway. I'm doing this in my giveaway video. That's not the last thing. The last thing I got wasn't from the LCS, but it was Extreme Zero. And this is signed by every brother in their damn minds is signed this one. We got, I'm just going to take it out and show everybody. Because I don't think it's going to show it well through it. We got, it's like, we have Liefeld, there's like 8 signatures on this damn book. What it is, it's Liefeld, Merritt Michaels, Chuck Jones, Chap Yap, Richard Horry, Dan Fraga. Each one of them signed it, and then last person to sign it was Byron George Tallman. So I mean, this is freaking awesome, and I got this from Ricky Dones. He sent this to me for free.
Heck yeah!
So you know, so I was like, yeah, buddy, Liefeld, free. I'll take it in a heartbeat. But no, for real though. But Ricky and I have been doing trades for over a year and a half now. He's like, hey, do you want this? I said, sure, I'll definitely take that. But yeah, I wanted to show that one off. And the only I got a bunch of stuff from SDCC, but that was in my other haul video. So definitely don't want to go through all that crap again. That was a lot of stuff I got. Oh my god. I still haven't opened it all. I just started opening some of it. But yeah, that was this week's haul. And it was free too. because I went and traded in a short box of comics to your LCS. So, just a recommendation: if you got a bunch of comics you don't want, that's worth a little bit of money, take them in and get store credit for it, and then save yourself a lot of money. Um, so other than that, the only thing I'm really waiting on is Hellboy Omnibus 1 to come in, and then short stories, and then Volume 4. Do you know when Short Stories 2 is coming out, Kyle?
I think it's 2 weeks. I think it's the second week of August.
Okay.
So
And 4 hasn't came out yet either, has it? Volume 4?
Should be next week, and then the week after is Volume 2 of the short stories.
Okay. Because I've got 2 and 3 already, so just need to get 1, 4, and the other 2.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about Hellboy, what did we see today? A pre-order for the damn 112 scale figure.
Only 120
So,
bucks.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks cool, but I'm not paying that for it. And they do charge you up front for it.
They do. I emailed them. Because I was gonna pre-order it if it was like Big Bad Toy Store where they do it when it ships, but I don't know. I don't think it's gonna sell out that quickly. I'll probably wait. I think I'll probably end up getting it just because I really want to build a Hellboy collection. I've been absolutely in love with the book, but yeah, like I was looking because I actually at that show I went up to with Josh and Billy. They had I think all the Mezco Hellboy figures, but they wanted 100 and 150, somewhere between 100 and 150 each. And I was like, I'm not paying that for that type of figure. And then sure enough, Dark Horse is even more. So I don't know. That's just a lot of money. That's the reason like I didn't do the shirtless bear fighter figures because they were like, I mean, they were literally like something you would buy at a dollar store, but they were shirtless bear fighter and they were charging $40 a pop. I have a hard time. I get it. It's independent stuff that most people aren't. They're not mass producing, but still, I think the pricing on these things could be a little bit better. But that's just me.
Oh, I agree 100%. I saw that price today. I'm like, no, I don't need a Hellboy that bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you think about the perspective we were just talking about, that's almost the whole case of Legends. You know, that's almost the whole Build-A-Figure that you get. Or you look at a Mezco. A Mezco is $50 cheaper than that, you know, and it's the same level, you know, of what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like, okay, the only thing you're really paying for in this one is just the name. You know, that's the catch, is you're paying for it coming straight from Dark Horse versus if an LCS gets it. So I'm going to ask my LCS when I go into them, can you order it through previews?
Right.
Because if you order through previews, you don't have to pay up front.
Right. So it may be an option, but yeah, because I'd like to get it. I just don't. I have a hard time with Mezcos, which is funny when you look at my Hot Toys collection. But I have a hard time a 6-inch figure or 6-7-inch figure. If it's above $50, I really start to, even $50 is a lot in my opinion. But
well, we all do. I mean, because that's kind of the hard part is like you're used to that standard $20, you know, $20 cost for a Marvel Legend. You bump up to say, you know, SH Figuarts, you know, or a Mafex or a Mezco level kind of figure. You're talking 50 to 70, depending on what it is.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's like when you look at that Legend versus you look at, you know, you have that display factor with those mid tier, you know, that you're looking at. So you're getting it, but you're also getting tons of accessories that you don't get with Legends, you know, as well. You're getting additional heads. Like, I mean, we all know how Legends work. You might get one head or one pair of extra hands and maybe one accessory. With a Mezco, I mean, you guys see the Mezco Punisher. Oh my God, you get so much stuff with that. And I paid $70 for it retail when it first came out. You know, what you're getting with a Mezco and a Mafex or an SH, to me, almost compensates for what you would get with a Marvel Legend. I get it; it's not 12 inches, it's not a quarter scale level size figure. But what you're getting with it, especially the suits and stuff, you know, it's like you look at the pleather or the plastic based suit on Mezcos, or you look at the, you know, the aesthetics of an SH Figuarts on DBZ. you're getting that extra stuff that you can't get, you know. But here's the other catch 22 right now, though, is that articulation's being picked up a lot, and face paint's being picked up a lot on Legends as well as Dragon Stars, you know, because Dragon Stars are $20 figures, you know, which are trying to compete with Figuarts, even though they're still both owned by Bandai. But they are the cheaper version of these figures, you know, to be able to get them. And they're doing a Build-A-Figure. I mean, hell, I've got a bunch of them. Hell, I wanted to build Kale. You know, that was my first thing to do. I saw Kale. That was the first bath I built from Dragon Stars. I don't care about the rest of the figures. I'll get them in Figuarts.
Right.
But I just wanted to build the bath, you know, which is just like a Legend. How many of us have bought a whole case of Legends or a whole weight of Legends just to build a bath? Because you wanted that bath, you know? How many of us still have a, let's see, how many Captain Americas, how many Iron Men, how many, you know, Spider-Man that you had to buy just to get to build a bath? You know, it's pretty standard for them. Or all the crappy people you don't want. Like, do I really need a Grim Reaper? Do I really need a Batroc? Do I really need some of these guys? I'm a Hulk fan, okay, or a Cap fan, I get it, you know, but yeah, no. So I can see your perspective on that. What you're paying for with a Hot Toy versus a Mezco versus a Marvel Legend, you know. And I know, BJ, you have Mezcos right behind your head. So, so what do you think? What do you like better, Mezcos, Hot Toys, or Legends? Or is it different because each have different factors?
Yeah, with for comic book base or cartoon base, you know, Legends, Mezco, just because the fabrics and the stands with Mezcos, and if I can find one at a good deal, it's like I'll get a Mezco on that. Yeah, with the Legends, I grabbed whatever I like because I wouldn't mind finishing the Sasquatch for build a figure, but I don't need another X Force Deadpool. I've got the Mezco right there, so if I can find somebody who has the Sasquatch shit, I'll grab it from them. Um, a couple of my Walgreens around here, they have their Legends on clearance now. It's like 15, 16 bucks. They said they're gonna start a new wave. I was like, okay. I saw an X23 right there for on clearance already.
Yeah, they actually have a deal right now. It's 20% off Legends right now till the end of the month. So the best part is like, I remember it took me 3 X23s to make one good one. And I think that's kind of the problem I have with Legends is the QC issues. The Star Wars Black Series has so many QC issues. Like, literally, I had to take one arm off of an X23 to put it on the body because all the paint was scraped off. And then I had to take the head off of another one because the eyes are scratched over. You know,
Yeah.
so you don't really deal with that with Mezcos. You really don't deal with that with, you know, Figuarts. Of course, you'd never deal with that with Hot Toys unless you have a used one. I looked at some used ones like that where there's been issues done. You buy a brand new one, you pretty much are good to go outside the box. Same way with Mezcos and those ones. But you buy a Legend, yeah, you're taking a gamble. You buy it by the case, you're really taking a gamble because you have no idea how many of those figures are going to be jacked up in that case. But that's a roll of the dice you got to take when you're buying $20 figures versus $70 versus $300 figures, you know. All right. There's one thing I do want to show, damn it.
No yawning.
I gotta show this one. This is my favorite pickup from the SDCC. This is the Throne of the Primes. Literally, it's, you know, Optimal Optimus in Optimus Primal colors. He's got a badass scepter that you can put 4 Prime Masters in. And then right up here, there's an actual plastic wheel. Up here, as you can see, there's a wheel in here. It actually rotates down, and you can put all the Prime Masters in it.
That's cool.
So to me, it was awesome, especially for the price. Because actually, the funny part is like the standard leader price is $50. That's $70. And that's a con exclusive. And you get 4 Prime Masters, you get all the extra stuff in it. So I was like, hey, I definitely want that one. Oh, and what sucks though, and this is what I don't like about Hasbro though, is like for all of us Transformers fans, we've been collecting these Prime Masters as they come out. So there's been like 3 waves. The only way to get the last 4 is in that box. So if you don't buy the exclusive box, you don't get the last 4 because they've not put out that wave 4 that completes it. So, and you have to buy the Predaking to get the other one. So OCD kind of kicks in for Transformers fans really bad. Because like I gotta complete, I gotta finish the set, gotta stuff like that. And then of course you saw like I just put a bunch of stuff on sale on the Syndicate buy sell trade. I'm like, all right, I liked it. It was nice. Bye bye. That's kind of how it goes. But that kind of irritated me a little bit about it. But I love the colors. I love how they really did this one. So yeah, I had to show that one.
Like it.
It's very nice.
All right. So that being said, that's all I got tonight. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Nope, that's all I got. Kyle, you got anything for closing tonight?
No, I think that's pretty much it. Thanks for everybody who came out, asked questions. Another fun night.
Oh, BJ.
Yes, it was great. I'm enjoying these conversations with Ry G and Nightwalker here. They're pretty funny.
I know. I've been watching. I've been reading them as they go.
Yeah.
They're my boys.
If you have a Second and Charles around you, I think until the 10th of June, they're doing a special on trade paperbacks. You buy 2, you get 30% off. Buy 3, you get 40% off. You buy 4 or more, you get 50% off. So, you got one around there. Go grab some trades.
That's not bad. I wish I had one like that or a half-price books around me.
Yeah.
Latin and Ollies, like, dude, I would kill to have an Ollies like what you guys have been getting lately. Oh my god. I think I would pass out if I walked in and saw that Triptychon.
It was great.
But everybody in the chat, thank you guys. Thank you guys for making it entertaining there. Always, like I said, always ask us questions. We're here for you guys to help out as much as possible. So we got a lot coming up this summer. We got a lot more this fall coming up with comics, especially with shows and everything getting ready to start in the fall season. Well, I was thinking like maybe we'll do a show episode, out of this one night when we do the stream. Is like, hey, let's look at all the new shows coming out, because and make a list of everything for everybody, like comic-based ones, because a lot of times stuff gets lost all the time. Like, hey, what if you don't have Sci-Fi Channel? You can't go watch it at class, But it'd be kind of cool to have like, hey, what's the list of all the shows and all the where they're going to be at and what we think about them too. Like, hey, as they come out, is it going to be worth it or not? Like, I still haven't watched all the Netflix Marvel stuff yet. It just like I got bored after the Defenders. So yeah, we might do that down out there. And yes, Adam Fry, thank you for the $2 to support BJ and his hot toy addiction. $2.
That's 1/100th of that's not. That's like 1% 150 150th percent.
Hey, unless he buys a used one through a second or third party.
Well,
then it might be.
Well, it depends. Then you're talking. That's like 1/300th of a hot toy.
Right.
Depending on which one it is.
But yeah, it's been a fun time, guys. We'll do it again next week. Probably do it around the same time if it works out for everybody. Which we've been trying to do the 6:30, 6:45, make it a little easier on Kyle and BJ because it's later on these guys. And of course, since he'll show up if he shows up. That's how we always say it every week. Same way with Brock. Hey, we invite Brock, but he never shows up either. So,
Yeah.
all right. So this has been Nate. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, BJ. You guys have a good night, and we'll definitely talk around in the chat probably later tonight or tomorrow. So take it easy, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everybody out there in YouTube land.
Thanks, guys.